I have a cabinet door. Doesn't really catch well. Why is that? Because it uses a old spring mechanism that catches around these two little wheels. And over time, it's just worn out. And even when I try squeezing it, it still doesn't give it a good grip. So I'm going to try this product. The Brown Economy Magnetic Catch with Strike by Everbilt. And thanks to the Home Depot Seeds program, we get to try this out today. Consists of a total of 6 parts. 2 sets of screws, one for the catch and one for the striker. And that's it. So let's take it out of the package and see if we can do this. One separated from the packaging, we have our magnetic catch and our striker. And then we have screws. Round-headed screws will probably go here. And the flat-headed ones here so that they're flush. And being that this has little round doodaddies, I think this is where the magnet's going to go. And then we'll put our little strike here. So we'll actually use this positioning to help us align everything. This way, there's nothing protruding out a door except this strike, and it'll come over here, and once it gets close enough to the magnet, then we'll get this action where the door will actually catch and be held in place by the magnet. We'll just remove the old catch, simply unscrew this fastener, and now we have a place to attach our plate. So we'll use this as a template, and that's, I'm going to use that hole there as a reference for the center of this, and then I'm going to drill 2 small little pilots. And you got to be careful because this door isn't that thick, and it probably would, if we double check this alignment, we see that our screw is going to be small enough so it doesn't go through the door. But when I drill the pilot hole, I got to make sure I don't go through the entire door. I used a pencil to mark the inside of these 2 holes. So now I have targets for my pilot hole. Instead of drilling both pilot holes at the same time, I drill one, and now I can double check. So in case I'm slightly out of alignment here, I don't have a useless pilot hole. So now I'll put in this pilot hole using this hole as the final template, so it's exactly where I need it. With the second pilot hole drilled in, we secure our little plate. And don't overdrive these screws, because one of 2 things will happen. You either strip the head, or you'll strip the thread inside the wood, then it'll just free spin on you. It doesn't have to be super tight. It just needs to not move. So now this is secure. We need to remove this old one, and there are 2 slotted screws here, so this will drop out. We need to get this piece flush with the front and then mark where I'm going to drill. I'll probably use an awl to mark into the woods, because this is fairly tight and this shelf is kind of deep, so it's kind of hard to see up underneath this. So that'll be the challenge. This will probably be the hardest part, because you want this to extend far enough so that it catches with the metal, but you don't want it so far out that it actually interferes with the door. So ideally flush would be perfect. And we see this one is not flush. It's actually just a little further out. So fortunately, if your screws are in the middle, you can have a little bit of play, because the holes are oblong. I was hoping the distance between the two screw holes was the same between the two pieces, but they're not. The newer piece is actually wider, so I can't use these holes. Though I could probably offset and use one of the holes, being that this plate is bigger than what the magnet actually needs. So that would at least, because once I go into one of the screw holes in this wood, then it'll be easier just to get a pilot hole for the other one, because part of it's already aligned for you. On the magnetic catch, I use the existing hole in the wood. I just align to that and put this screw in. And then I had to drill a pilot hole, but I used the opening on this magnetic catch to guide me for the right positioning. And that gave me the right place to put the screws in. And because the openings are oblong, I could go back and forth. I've given it about a 1/16 of an inch. And I have room to play with that if the door doesn't close right. So let's move some of our tools out of the way and see if this door will close. Once I get everything out of the way, let's see if the door will catch properly. So at this point, nothing. So that tells me that I am too far back and this needs to come forward. So eventually I had to drill new holes and bring it up even more. So it's about 1/4 of an inch. And that's because the door comes in part way, but it leaves a gap so it doesn't strike. Some of you may have shelves that are flush with the frame. That's not the case here. So I have to make more of an adjustment. And now when I close it, you can hear that it's striking, and I can feel the pull. I expected, honestly, a much tighter pull, but I can't accidentally open the door. And, you know, you can see the scratch marks there from it contacting. So maybe they could have put another magnet in there. I don't know if these are neodymium magnets, but certainly feels like it could be a little stronger. I want it to be a lot more resistant. Well, it's an improvement over what I had, and I can definitely feel that it's contacting. So this is all the strength I'm going to get. You know, I'm a little disappointed. I feel it should be stronger, but it does get the job done. And again, the trickiest part about this hoe installation is just getting this in the right position, both front and back, left and right, so that it lines up with your plate. If you found this video interesting or useful, give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, join the subscription team, and as always, thank you ever so much for watching.